Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is a very funny one. This is one that I've been waiting to tell for a long time because it's just hilarious. The reason I waited to tell it, and I didn't tell it like a couple days after it happened, is because I wanted the person in this story time to wait. Like, you'll hear why. But anyway, yeah. Today's story time is about the time that I smoked with my biggest hater. Yeah, dude, this is a funny one. I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do, and let's get into it. So today's story time all takes place when I was 21 years old, actually like a week after I turned 21 to be specific. So it was like the beginning of November, and around this time there was an event going on. Now I don't want to say what event specifically, but it was basically a convention, and sometimes YouTubers and gamers would end up at these conventions, and it just looked interesting, so I went. I went with two friends of mine. It was about 3.5 hours or 4 hours from where I lived, so we drove there together. We spent the weekend there, got a hotel. And the first day of the convention was completely normal, nothing out of the ordinary. Actually met a couple of YouTuber buddies of mine while I was there. But the second day of the convention, something really funny happened. So I got to the convention center early in the day, right when the event started. I was there for about 3 or 4 hours. I got pretty tired, pretty, bored quick. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go back to my hotel. So I walked out of the convention center and I started walking back to my hotel. Now my hotel was like, I don't know, half a mile from the convention center. So you could just walk there. So yeah, that was the plan. I went and found one of my buddies in the convention center and I was like, yo, I'm leaving. I'm going to walk back to the hotel for a bit. I'll be back in like an hour, maybe 2. Are you staying here? Are you coming with? He's like, oh, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to try and find Trey. Trey was our other friend that came with us to the convention. I went with 2 buddies, so my friend Alex and my friend Trey. Trey was somewhere in the convention center or outside of it. I didn't know. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, let me know if you guys are coming back or not. Otherwise, I'll see you in a couple hours back here. And he's like, okay, sounds good, man. So I leave the convention center, right? And I'm literally about to cross the street and walk onto the sidewalk and start going back to my hotel. And I see something out of the corner of my eye. I look to my right and I see Trey, my friend from my city, the one that I went to this event with, and he's smoking a blunt with some random dude. So I walk over because I'm curious, and I was like, yo, Trey. He's like, Austin, what's good? And he like daps me up, and I sit down next to this random guy, just in between him and Trey, and the random guy looks over at me, and he looks to be like probably, I don't know, 2 years older than me, so not much older, and he daps me up, and he's like, yo, what's up, man? My name's Robert. And I was like, what's up, man? I'm Austin. He's like, cool, man, cool. What brings you to the convention? I'm like, not much, man. I'm just kind of a nerd, like gaming, like a whole bunch of stuff like that. So this seemed like the place to be. And he's like, yeah, man, this convention attracts a lot of people like that. A lot of gamers, a lot of anime watchers, like fiction readers, just a whole bunch of stuff like that. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, honestly, man, it's kind of annoying how many content creators come here. Like a lot of like YouTubers and Twitch streamers end up here and they kind of like just clog the place up with their fans. Like their fans show up and mob them and it's hard to move around. And I was like, yeah, man, I can see why that'd be annoying. Like if you're trying to get somewhere and there's a bunch of people in the way, that's really annoying. And he's like, yeah, last year I came to this event and a bunch of YouTubers and streamers showed up that I did not like at all. And I was like, really? I was like, what are their names? He starts naming some of them. And it's funny because some of them are my friends. Now, I didn't say anything because I don't want to be like, oh, you're making fun of my friends, like, because it's their content creation stuff. Like, it's one thing if you're talking directly about my friend, like calling my friend a bad person, but he was just kind of shitting on their content. And, that's kind of valid. Like, if you don't like someone's content, your opinion is your opinion. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same way that some people don't like mine. So I didn't want to, like, call him a bad person or something for not liking my friend's videos. So I didn't say anything, right? But I did want to know one thing. I wanted to know if he knew who I was. So I started doing some digging, right? I asked him, I'm like, hey man, like, who are some of your least favorite content creators? And I shit you not, second person he names is me. And immediately, like, me and my friend look at each other, like our faces just light up. And the dude, fucking Robert, looks back at me and he's like, do you know him? And I was like, yeah, I know of his content. I've seen him on YouTube. I was like, what do you not like about him? He's like, dude, he's ridiculous, right? Like, no man can have that many stories. And I was like, yeah, dude, he has a lot of stories. And he's like, they're all fucking fake. Like, you know that, right? And I'm like, oh, really? Like, how do you know? And he's like, they just gotta be, bro. Like, they can't be true. There's so many of them. And I was like, yeah, there is a lot. And he's like, honestly, dude, go through his channel. I bet you can't find one real story. And my friend starts laughing, right? Because, like, it's just funny. He's just, like, shit-talking my videos right in front of me. And I'm not mad at all. I thought it was hilarious. Like, this dude's just going off about me, right? And I keep like egging it on. I'm like, yeah, he's kind of sucks. Like I don't like his voice. He's kind of annoying. He sounds like he has like a plugged nose all the time and he's all skinny. I'm just talking shit, right? I'm trying to like egg this dude on to say other stuff because I'm just like loving it. And he keeps going. He's like, yeah, dude, like he's got this one story that I watched back in the day, and he talks about like breaking into an abandoned building or something and the cops chase him and like, dude, that shit wasn't real. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know. And he's like, bro, and the worst part about him is the fans. His subscribers are just ridiculous. They're so toxic. So he started coming for you guys, right? Like he wasn't even just coming at me. He was coming at y'all. So you guys should have beef with him too, okay? And I'm just like trying not to laugh because this dude's just shitting all over my channel, my subs, like everything, right? And finally, he ends it off by being like, you know, man, I used to love this dude's videos. I used to watch Luna when I was like 15. He was the shit. But now it's just bad. And I was like, yeah, man. So you really think like none of his stories are true at all? And he goes, honestly, man, I don't think one of them is true. Not one. And that's when I hit him with the fucking reverse card. I was like, well, this story will be. And his face just immediately changes, right? Like he looks like a deer in headlights. And he's like, what? And I was like, Luna, nice to meet you. And I like dap him up. And he's like, dude, I fucking knew your voice sounded familiar. I fucking knew it. And he starts laughing out of like embarrassment. He's like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry if you took offense to that. It's just my opinion. And I'm like, dude, you can have your opinion. If you think I'm like full of shit and you don't like my content, so be it, man. I can't change your opinion. And he starts backpedaling. He's like, dude, honestly, like, I don't know what I was talking about. Like, I'm just jealous, honestly. Like, you get to tell stories for a living. That's awesome. And you just told me, like, this is going to be a story, and it's a true story, so I think I had it all wrong. I think you're legit. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, man, my bad. And he apologizes. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to apologize. Like, you can stand on your opinion. I really don't mind. Like, I'm a content creator. It comes with the territory. It's fine if you don't like me. He's like, nah, man, honestly, I was tripping. And he starts, like, laughing. And I thought it was funny, right? My friend's laughing about it. So just as about to, like, say goodbye, he's like, well, man, honestly, I think I owe you something because I talked mad shit to your face and I feel bad. And I'm like, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. He's like, nah, man, here. And he hands me the blunt they were smoking. And I hadn't smoked at this point in a long time. But I was like, you know what? For the sake of the story, I'm going to take a hit. And I did. And I had the biggest panic attack ever afterwards. So yeah, not only did I meet my biggest hater, hit a blunt with him, but also I had a panic attack after. So yeah, that's probably what I get for fucking with this dude. But honestly, like all in all, I just can't believe he didn't recognize my voice. Like I have a very distinct voice, I feel like. If people don't recognize me from my face, it's almost always my voice. And the fact that I told them my name was Austin should have been a dead giveaway, but maybe he just didn't remember from back in the day. I don't know. Either way, it was so funny that he didn't know for the first like 5 or 10 minutes. And then his face. I wish I had a photo of his face when I was like, I'm Luna, because he just shit himself. It was so funny. But yeah, guys, I guess moral of the story is you never really know who you're talking to. I don't know. This is just a funny story. Definitely a funny little moment in my YouTube journey. And yeah, I waited to upload this just because I wanted him to wait. He talked all that shit. Now he's got to wait to be in the stories. Nah, I'm just fucking around. I honestly forgot for a long time, and then I remembered, and then I waited because I just knew how funny it was, and I wanted to wait. So yeah, shout out to that dude. If you're watching this, Robert, how you doing, bro? Is this real enough for you? I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Leave a like on the video if you did. Especially you, Robert. You better leave a fucking like. And feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. Yeah, guys. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.